All right, so I'm Beck Lane, and this is Catalysting Company. Catalysting Company, where we're catalysting each other's lives as well as our own, and we work at being the artists we've always wanted to be. Now, this canvas is number 21 of the 55 Frida Project, where I'm developing 55 portraits of Frida Kahlo. Why, you may ask? Because she did 55 self-portraits. So I've got it stuck in my little Rain Man head that I'm going to be doing 55 Frida Kahlo portraits. This one is number 21, this canvas. Now, actually, I had this sketched out, the image sketched out a little while ago with a piece of chalk, which is one of the layers I use, one of the part of the process. I sketch her the figure out, basic figure out in chalk over the black and white and gray gesso, and then I go in with the aerosols. So I had the figure sketched out in my little piece of Crayola chalk, and as I'm drawing it out, I could have this feeling, and anyone who is an artist, anyone who produces work, you can feel it when it's not going to go well. You can feel it in your bones. This image that I was sent by a friend, and I thought, yes, that's the next one. I changed my mind. I wiped down what I originally had, started this next portrait. I just felt it in my bones. It's not right. It's not right. And I'll tell you why. And this is where you have to know your strengths. You have to understand when it's not for, it's just not for you. It's just not going to work out well. The pose that Frida was holding was her with a cigarette. She's in her studio. She's looking off, and she's like, I'm a genius, and nobody knows it yet, but one day they will. So I'm going to smoke my cigarette and think about how wonderful I am. And she's got this little portrait of Diego Rivera that she had drawn next to her, but she's got her back to him. And he looks so small in her portrait of him that I fell in love with it. However, I do not do profiles well. I can do a profile, but it will come out kitschy. I will probably end up overpainting it. I already know this. And it just won't have the effect. It won't have the intent, the drive. It won't captivate the viewer the way Frida's and all the other portraits do when they're looking directly at the viewer and saying, see me. See me, feel me, I'm right here. Basically the who, see me, feel me, I'm Tommy. So I just wiped this down again and ditched that idea. I don't do profiles well. I just don't. I don't find them as interesting. So it would have been pretty, but I'm not interested in doing just pretty things, pretty art. We want things that have a real strong intent. So I'm going back to the original image. Let me pull it up on my phone and I can show it to you. This is the original image. This is what I decided on a long time ago for 21. I love this. She's not looking at the viewer, so I'm kind of contradicting myself. She's looking over to the side, but it's still the way she's holding herself. It is an absolute contradiction to the world around her. Not her nest with her family. I'm assuming she's in her 20s. She's still living at home. You know, she's had this bus accident. She has been bedridden for quite a while. I am assuming a lot because I don't remember when this was taken. But you can tell she's holding herself with such strength and determination. It's almost, you can almost feel the future for Frida Kahlo unfolding in that one little photo. You can almost feel her rippling through time. Now let's keep in mind, let's always remember our friend Frida, like Vincent, our friend Vincent, did not gain popularity until, unfortunately, after their untimely and too soon deaths. But look at her. It ripples. Frida became popular in the 70s when women started looking for other women artists that they could relate to. And somebody went, hey, look at this lady who existed 30 years ago. Let's revere her. I love these photos where we can feel her presence. Any of the reference material that I use, we can feel her presence. So that's this is the intent. This is what I want to address in intent. Is the subject matter that we're using, the reference material that we have chosen or has chosen us, which happens with me, the reference material chooses me, and it lets my nervous system know, yes, this is the one. Or, Frida, this is not the one. Does the reference material fulfill our intent? Does it fulfill our need as an artist to produce? Is it going to connect with us so we can feel it enough to put it on canvas, to make it out of clay, to feel it with our hands, with our bones, with our blood? And not just, it's pretty. There is nothing more insulting to me than somebody who says, pretty, or cute. There's nothing that drives me, well, there's a lot of things that drive me nuts, let's face it, but like, pretty and cute drive me up a tree. So I'm sketching her back in. The next step will be using aerosols, and we won't do that on camera, I don't think. Maybe we'll give it a sec. Oh, we've only been on for 6 minutes. We can probably get a little bit of aerosol in. Because I've been getting a lot of questions about how do you do that? How does that work? But right now I've got to get the basic shape in. That's what we're working on. Not individual little details, but basic shape. On number 20 out of 55. Someone did say something interesting the other day to me. We were going through some portfolios, and they said, you might want to think about doing more self-portraits. Well, I started another portrait series a while ago where it was a portrait of me and an artist that kind of influenced me, but not in a typical way. They're just, I read about them, I learned all about them. I had empathy and sympathy and understanding of them. Toulouse-Lautrec, Alice Neal were the beginnings of that portfolio. So it's a painting of them from images that I happen to really connect with. And me. So that's one of 8,000 portfolios. I'm kidding. It's one of many portfolios I have going on, along with this Frida one. Now I feel like I've told this story an awful lot, and everyone should know, but in case you're wondering and you don't know because I haven't told you, heaven forfend, I started this project because I was talking to Jay at Blue Egg Gallery. I think she's kind of squatty, at Blue Egg Gallery. And I do like to check in and say, what can we do, what can we do, what can we do? Especially when times are tough. As an artist, you have to, you have to help. You have to support the people who are supporting you. So I called Jay and I said, what can I do? What can I do to help with sales? What can I do to help promote? And he said, can you paint something more cheerful? And I pouted and I stamped my feet and I did to myself, I said, you don't know me. I'm an artist. I'm a real artist. I'm a real boy. And I was sitting, and I did that for like 24 hours. And I was sitting in my little room that we've been in, and I filmed in before. I'm sitting in my little room, in my little chair, and I'm binge watching something and anger eating like oatmeal or watermelon, as one does, and in times of stress and frustration. And it hit me. Frida Kahlo. I have no deep love for Frida Kahlo. I really just don't, or I didn't, or at least for her work. I mean, I appreciated her struggles very much. I appreciated what I knew of her perseverance. I appreciated that, but her technique was kind of rudimentary. And I can say that out loud because someone else actually said that to me. And so I feel vindicated in that thought. But I sat in there and I thought, Frida Kahlo. Because Frida is everything that we're looking for, everything I'm looking for in artwork. Or not everything, but she expresses the struggle. She expresses, this drive. She expresses the ability to keep going. Okay, sorry, my phone. She expresses this, not ability, but this need to create, this unstoppable, compulsory need to develop artwork. So she did what she could with what she had in a technique that she understood. And she did, evolve over time, but still, it is what it is. But she transcends, and this is what I want in all my figures, whether they're black and brown or white-ish, like my little boys on hobby horses, whoever they are, I want the figures to touch the viewer, the buyer, the collector, the viewer, and transcend all of the surface and dig at the heart, dig at the understanding that this person had a whole past, a whole future. They existed, they struggled, they worked, they were alive. And see how much more they could have been. See it. If, as I've said a million times now, societal and cultural constraints hadn't put them in a box and held them back, if they'd been valued. So anyway, with little Frida over here, I was saying something. Oh, little Frida over here, when I had that epiphany, Frida Kahlo. There's endless reference material. It's mainly in black and white, which is my jam. She falls within the time period I most connect with, which is mid-1800s to about 1945. She falls right within that range, although I think she died in 54. 45 is what I love, ish. But also, along with the intent, in all the intent, she transcends age, race, gender, nationality. Almost everyone can see themselves in Frida Kahlo. And so that's why we're doing this. We want the viewer to see not just a pretty picture, not something decorative, but we want the viewer to really connect and have something that hammers them in the chest and lives in their soul. Or on their shirt. All right, so that's it. I'm Beck Lane. I think I'll do the aerosol off camera, but I'm Beck Lane. This is Catalyst & Company. If you'd like to help support Catalyst & Company, all the links are down below, including PayPal, Cash App, Patreon, TeePublic, where you can buy images of my work on t-shirts, on clean t-shirts, and coffee mugs and everything, and all the links the links to all my galleries down below, including Lux Sound Gallery, where we have the first 17 out of 18, the first batch of 17 out of 18 Frida Kahlos. All right, ready, Carrie? Carries, multiple Carries, Wendy, Eric, everybody, all the stuff, Lisa. I feel like romper room right now. Ready? We're gonna do the chow. Chow. And the meow. Meow, meow, meow.